The thing I wanted to ask you about first was, I was at the UK title tournament in January, and I've spoken to a lot of people since then. And I knew of you beforehand, and Pete Dunne, a lot of the guys there. But a lot of people, I think, who watched that show maybe hadn't watched British wrestling before or weren't as familiar. And it felt like by the end of those 2 nights that a bunch of stars had been made. There was stories to go on, and obviously that's what led to the Norwich shows. What do you think was so special about those 2 nights in January that, guys like you and Pete Dunne and Trent and Wolfgang and I guess Saxon Huxley as Jesus to a lesser extent, but all you guys seem to sort of be, made to newer fans as well. What made that event so special?
I think what made the event so special was that quite a lot of people watching didn't actually fully know who we were. So it was I think it was kind of a breath of fresh air for a lot of people. It wasn't the typical SmackDown or Raw or NXT show that a lot of the WWE universe normally get to see. Mm-hmm. It was kind of more of a let's get a British indie show and just put a few cameras on it and just see where it goes from there. So it kind of had that organic feel to it, I think, as well. I think that's what made it so special.
And what was the reception like for you after the event? What was the reception like to you when you would go to other indie shows from that event?
Well, it's definitely given British wrestling kind of the platform that it's been looking for now to actually draw these big crowds to the independent shows. Like, luckily, a bunch of us are still getting the best of both worlds, being able to perform for the WWE and on independent shows. And like when people see myself or Trent Seven or Pete Dunne on a poster now, they know who we are, and it's kind of drawing more fans to these independent shows.
Yeah, for sure. And I just wanted to ask you, obviously the Norwich show that's going to air on the WWE Network tomorrow night, there was a clip that went viral of the Norwich crowd chanting Dan at Triple H, the Alan Partridge quote. Did anybody clue him in afterwards to what that was? Because he must have had no idea what was going on.
Well, to be honest with you, mate, I didn't have any idea what was going on. I'm not very familiar with Alan Partridge myself, so I was just as confused as he was.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to ask you a quick question about Saturday night with Pete Dunne in Chicago. Obviously, you said it's the biggest match of your career so far, but Chicago is a crowd that is one of the WWE's loudest and all that kind of thing. Do you have any sort of favourite memories of stuff you've watched in Chicago, and are you looking forward to working in front of that particular crowd who are known for being so vocal?
The first WrestleMania I actually watched was it was Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship after Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble. And I believe that was in Chicago. So that's it's really cool that I'm getting to perform in the same city as my first ever WrestleMania that I watched.